Mario Party 2, what else is there to say? It's still my favorite in the series, and it's one of my favorite games in general, and I think I've gotten pretty good at it. So naturally, I'd want to make an Iceberg about it, which I did a bit ago, and now I'm explaining it. Now I don't need to waste any more of your time, I'll just say this is the usual, every layer is its own video, so just make sure you have the next one ready in the playlist as you watch this. Anyway, let's get started now. Costumes. So this is the thing that everybody knows about in this game, even if they've never really played it, being the most unique thing that really makes it stand out from everything else in the series, at least on a visual level. Being that every board has its own special theming to it, and it goes so far that the characters are even in their own special outfits for when they're playing on the actual board. Not during the minigames, but it's there on the board, and yeah, it's really charming and cool, and I get why it hasn't returned in other games, but you know. Got item. So this is a little thing that you encounter whenever you acquire a Bowser bomb in the item minigame, rather than a miss or getting a normal item, and once you get a unique jingle plays, that's this weird, kind of creepy, distorted version of the regular got item thing, and you know, it kind of spooked me when I first saw it, and it's just, again, a unique little charming detail that we see a lot here. Rainbow Run. This is a crappy minigame that you unlock after going through the hard work of completing the minigame coaster on normal, and despite that, it's probably the worst one that you could get for multiplayer. Yes, no, I specifically say multiplayer, we'll get to it in a second. But yeah, it's a 1 versus 3 game, and you slowly walk across this rainbow bridge as the other players are kind of aimlessly shooting cannonballs at you, and it takes forever. You move very slowly, there's not much you can do to avoid anything, even that's pretty hard to knock you down, and it's just kind of a mess, and it's a redoing of a game from 1, and yeah, not worth it, so you just want, if you really want completion. Getting smaller and look away. So this is a fun little thing that everybody has tried doing when playing this game themselves, even if they've never really openly shared about it. Being that during said minigame, if you mess up and you're on the 3-player team, your character will either shrink or go backwards, one of those things, but aside from making a funny face and noise, that's again something really unique and charming to like just this era of the series. They will appear smaller. But the thing is that even after you've lost, you can still keep on playing, and you can mess up more and more and get smaller and smaller each time you go. So if you mess up during the first round, it's fun to try purposely mess up again and again and just see how absolutely tiny you can get. Driver's Ed. So like Rainbow Run, this is the other hidden minigame that you have to unlock through the minigame coaster. But you have to complete it on hard mode, which is fucking insane to do. And once you do, you unlock this very, very unique minigame. And it's also very awful. And it's 1 player only, and yes, it's definitely the worst one in the game, but I mean, hey, at least like the worst 2 are kind of like separated to that, especially this one that nobody's probably like ever played. Like, I'm sure most people just know about this from hearing about it and then curiously looking it up on YouTube or whatever, and yeah, I mean, it's probably the unlock stats that makes me more bitter towards them, but you know. Mario Party 1 remakes. So this game is kind of infamous for the fact that a lot of the games on here are just redone from Mario Party 1, and that's definitely intentional. We're going to talk about this more way down in the Iceberg objectively, but something that I always saw it as is that, you know, the mess that is Mario Party 1, I'm sure you've heard it enough. I don't have to explain everything that's really messed up about that game, and I'm sure you've heard it all. I've always felt that Mario Party 2 was kind of like the apology letter to that, like, oops, we fixed it, sorry about all that, here's the real Mario Party, and Mario Party 1 is almost kind of like Mario Party 0 in a way, and then 2 is like where it really starts, and, you know, it's the true first big Mario Party, if you get what I mean. But yeah, we'll come back to this later. Bowser's chance time differences. So you all know about the dreaded chance time that gives you ulcers every time it happens, and either ruins your life or absolutely makes it, and yeah, well, this has 2 different chance times. There's the usual, and then there's Bowser's chance time, which only activates through a Bowser space, and it's just Bowser fucking with one of the players. And this has a unique setup compared to everything else, being that rather than the usual thing they usually see, this has metallic mushrooms everywhere, and metal coins everywhere and stuff, and again, everything only directs towards Bowser, which means it's basically just somebody losing something. Original Luigi wins by doing absolutely nothing. I'm sure you all know about this meme, I don't have to explain it, but the original known one came from Mario Party 2. Yep, it all started at this game, it was uploaded in 2009, and it is an absolute classic, hell yeah. Well, that does it for the tip. Of course, very surface level stuff, but as we're getting on, it'll get more and more interesting and obscure.